The first light of dawn does little to warm the inside of a medieval home. Pale sunlight seeps weakly through a small, narrow window, often nothing more than a gap covered with oiled cloth or shutters. The cold has settled deep into the walls overnight, clinging to the stone or timber like a silent occupant that never leaves. Inside, the air is still, damp, and biting. A family begins to stir. They do not wake because they are rested. They wake because survival demands it. The fire, once the centre of life, has nearly died. Only faint embers glow beneath a blanket of ash. Reviving it is the first task of the day. Without it, everything becomes harder. Hands, stiff with cold, reach for scraps of kindling saved from the day before. Every piece of wood matters. Fuel is never wasted. A single spark coaxed into flame means warmth, food, and a small measure of comfort. But starting a fire is not guaranteed. If the wood is damp or the embers have died completely, the process can take time. Precious time. Breath turns visible in the cold air as the person tending the hearth leans close, blowing carefully, feeding the fragile glow until it catches. Slowly, a flame grows. Only then does the home begin to feel alive again. The structure itself offers little protection from the cold. Walls made of rough stone absorb and radiate chill. Wooden homes, though slightly better, are riddled with gaps that allow wind to slip through. Insulation, as we know it today, does not exist. Straw, mud, or wattle might fill some cracks, but the cold always finds a way in. The floor is often bare earth, sometimes layered with reeds or straw. Over time, this bedding becomes dirty and damp, but replacing it frequently is difficult. In winter especially, everything feels slightly wet. Clothing, bedding, even the air itself. People dress not for comfort, but for endurance. Layers of wool and linen are worn continuously, often slept in as well. Clothing is rarely washed during cold months, as drying it is nearly impossible. The same garments served day after day, stiff with use. Morning routines are simple, but never easy. Food must be prepared, though supplies are limited. Breakfast is rarely a full meal. More often, it is a continuation of what remains. Coarse bread, perhaps hardened from days before, softened slightly near the fire. If available, a thin porridge made from oats or barley is cooked in a single pot. This pot is one of the household's most valuable items. It hangs over the fire or rests directly within it, used repeatedly throughout the day. There is no variety of cookware, no abundance of ingredients. Meals are built from what is available, stretched as far as possible. Water must be fetched, even in freezing conditions. This task often falls to the younger or stronger members of the household. They step outside into the cold, carrying wooden buckets to a nearby well, stream, or communal source. Ice may need to be broken. Hands grow numb quickly. Inside, the fire crackles unevenly. Smoke fills the room. Many medieval homes lack proper chimneys. Smoke escapes through a hole in the roof or simply drifts out through cracks and openings. Until it does, it lingers, stinging eyes, coating walls, settling into lungs. Over time, the interior darkens with soot. The ceiling blackens. Breathing becomes a daily challenge, though no one within the home considers it unusual. This is simply life. As daylight strengthens, work begins in earnest. Survival in a medieval home is not passive. It requires constant effort. Even indoors, there is no rest from labor. Tools must be repaired, clothing mended, food prepared, and resources managed carefully. For women and older children, tasks often include spinning wool, weaving, or sewing. These activities are done close to the fire, both for warmth and light. Fingers move steadily despite the cold. Productivity is not optional. Every item made or repaired contributes to survival. Men, if not working outside, may craft or maintain essential tools. Wooden implements, simple furniture, and farming equipment all require upkeep. There is no easy replacement for broken items. Everything must be fixed, reused, or adapted. Children learn quickly. There is little room for idleness. Even the youngest contribute, gathering small sticks, tending animals, or assisting with chores. Survival is a shared responsibility. Animals, if the family is fortunate enough to have them, often live close by, sometimes within the same structure. Chickens, goats, or even a cow might be sheltered indoors during harsh weather. Their presence provides warmth, though it also brings noise, smell, and additional challenges. But they are vital. Animals provide food, milk, eggs, and labor. Protecting them from the cold is just as important as protecting the family itself. Losing livestock can mean the difference between survival and starvation. By midday, the home is at its warmest. Though warm is relative. The fire has been maintained for several hours, and the combined presence of people and animals raises the temperature slightly. Still, breath can often be seen, and hands remain cold. The main meal of the day is prepared. Ingredients are simple: grains, root vegetables like turnips or onions, perhaps some cabbage. Meat is rare and usually reserved for special occasions or preserved for long-term use. When available, it is used sparingly, added to stews or broths to stretch its value. The pot simmers slowly. Meals are eaten together, often from shared bowls. There are no individual portions as we know them. Everyone takes what they can, mindful of the need to leave enough for others, and for later. Hunger is a constant presence. Even after eating, it rarely disappears completely. Afternoon brings no relief. Work continues until light fades. Tasks shift with necessity, repairing a leaking roof, reinforcing walls against wind, preparing food stores, or simply gathering anything that might be useful. Outside, conditions may be harsh: snow, wind, or freezing rain, but staying indoors offers no true comfort either. The cold never fully retreats. It lingers in every corner. Inside the home, time is measured not by clocks, but by light. As the sun lowers, shadows grow. The interior darkens quickly. Artificial light is limited, perhaps a tallow candle or an oil lamp, both expensive and used sparingly. Most activities must end when daylight fades. Evening settles in with a quiet heaviness. The fire must be carefully managed. Too much fuel wastes resources. Too little risks losing heat entirely. It is a delicate balance. The final meal, if there is one, is small. Leftovers from earlier, reheated or consumed cold. There is no excess, no indulgence. Every bite is calculated. People gather close to the hearth. This is the warmest place, the heart of the home. Conversations are quiet. Stories may be told, not for entertainment alone, but as a way to pass knowledge, preserve memory, and maintain a sense of connection. Despite the hardship, there is resilience here. Night, however, is the true test. As the fire burns low, the temperature drops quickly. Darkness deepens. Outside, the world becomes silent and unforgiving. Sleeping arrangements are simple. Straw-filled mattresses or piles of hay provide minimal cushioning. Blankets, often made of wool, are shared to conserve heat. Entire families may sleep in close proximity, using body warmth to survive the cold. Clothing is not removed. There is no luxury in comfort, only necessity. Boots may remain on, coats are pulled tight. Every effort is made to retain warmth. Still, the cold seeps in. Sleep is not always restful. It is interrupted by discomfort, by the need to tend the fire, by the sounds of animals, or by the sharp bite of freezing air. In the harshest conditions, Ice can form inside the home, on walls, on surfaces, even on bedding. Morning will come again, and with it, the cycle repeats. Daily survival inside a cold medieval home is not defined by a single moment of struggle, but by an unending series of small challenges. Every action, lighting a fire, preparing food, repairing clothing, is part of a larger fight against the elements. There is no escape from the cold. There is no guarantee of comfort. Only persistence, only endurance, and above all, the quiet determination to survive one more day.